This is the story behind the man whose ideas won the Second World War in the Pacific. Meet Douglas MacArthur, the mastermind behind the United States' victory against Japan in the Pacific Theater. So, who exactly is this general? Well, Douglas MacArthur was born on January 26, 1880, to Arthur MacArthur, a decorated military officer, best known for his famous unordered charge up Missionary Ridge during the Battle of Missionary Ridge in 1863. MacArthur grew up at various military bases around the world, being exposed to a strictly military life because of his father's command. In 1899, he enrolled in West Point and graduated with honors in 1903. During the next 30 years, MacArthur would rise through the chain of command, eventually reaching the highest Army rank of full general, becoming the highest-ranking U.S. Army officer. MacArthur truly was a brilliant military mind. He was an essential part of the victory, and he was also a family man. He was married to his wife Jean in 1937, and in 1938 they welcomed their only son Arthur the Fourth into the world. Creation of Plan Orange, the plan for war with Japan. MacArthur realized that Japan had the superior surface fleet, in particular the Yamato class, and that the advantage the U.S. had was in the air, a tactic that won the Second World War in the Pacific. However, throughout the forming of Plan Orange, he met fierce opposition from the naval admirals, who believed the surface fleet was indestructible. Throughout the course of the war, MacArthur realized many things, however, and did become a little high on his own self-esteem at some times. Anyways, back to the topic. This guy was an absolute genius. He's the Napoleon of the 20th century. When the war planners were creating this plan, there were a couple of spots that they needed touching up on, and MacArthur helped perfect this plan and supervise field training and of the eventual perfect execution of this plan. So, how does this all show this guy taking a stand? Well, MacArthur took a stand during the plan when he told war planners their plan would not work. You see, at this time, the Japanese naval architects were producing their grand masterpiece, Yamato, the 6,300-ton behemoth. This battleship was truly unstoppable. This is where MacArthur's plan comes into play. With an unbeatable surface fleet, where do you wage war? Well, in the skies, of course. Throughout the course of MacArthur's career, he accomplished many things. This, however, is different. His revolutionary strategy changed the way war is fought. He shifted the focus of naval combat from big guns on big battleships to aircraft carriers trying to dominate the skies and establish air superiority. So basically, MacArthur is the architect of modern naval warfare. One thing that always occurs in historical research is controversy. Lots and lots of controversy. That is what I would like to address next. Many things within the U.S. High Command are shrouded in secrecy. Plan Orange is one of them. Most topics related to World War II have some controversy involved. But the thing with the controversy in Plan Orange is that we don't know exactly when it happened. Douglas MacArthur got his general's commission in 1918 during World War I. World War I ended that same year, 1918, and the U.S. enters war with Japan in late 1941. So we know that Plan Orange was created sometime in between 1918 and 1941, and because of the plan being highly classified, the exact timing of Plan Orange, my topic, is unknown. During the Second World War, the commanders realized that the Pacific Theater was far too large for a traditional command structure, so the theater was divided into command regions. MacArthur commanded the Southwest Pacific area, notably including Australia and the Philippines, along with parts of China. He commanded all American, British, Australian, Kiwi troops from New Zealand, and Filipino forces. The most notable officer under MacArthur's command is General Kinney, the best officer in the Army Air Corps. However, MacArthur had troops from many nations under his command. So, how did MacArthur's strategy win the Second World War? Well, the main battleship fleet of the United States was not at all weak, but it was not outstanding, and had no chance of defeating the much larger, more advanced battleships of the Japanese. This problem only got worse when the battleships of the Pacific Fleet were crippled at Pearl Harbor. But the main problem was mobility. A slow battleship traveling 33 knots, or roughly 40 miles an hour, covers 960 miles in 24 hours, not taking into account any other variables. A common Vought F-4U Corsair fighter goes 446 miles an hour, roughly 11 times faster than the battleship. The carrier-based fighter can go 10,704 miles per 24 hours, but refueling would be required. Despite that, a fighter can get to a situation more than 10 times faster than a battleship, a resource that can be vital in war when timing is key. The main thing most people associate with the Pacific Theater is Pearl Harbor. But Pearl Harbor served only as a refueling base. The men of Pearl Harbor were barely ever at risk of death. It was the men of the forward operating bases, the aircraft carriers, who were actually at risk. In order for the victory to be achieved against Japan, these men put their lives on the line to be the most efficient workers in the world, while at the same time working in the most dangerous environment in the world. The officers who ran these ships and the pilots of the aircraft were the direct executors of MacArthur's plan. The plan of MacArthur to island hop, invading island after island, and the aircraft carriers were the only way he could achieve this plan. MacArthur truly was a great man and a military genius. He graduated first in his class from West Point, served as Chief of Staff of the United States Army, was a general for 30 years, and had a brilliant 50-year military career. His strategies won World War II, and he was an essential part of the U.S. military. During World War II, he served as Commander-in-Chief of the Southwest Pacific region, and as General of the Army of the United States. MacArthur truly was a brilliant officer, but sadly, he died on April 5th, 1964.